Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a past life reading. I call it Who Was I? Who was I in a past life? And I do these readings to correspond with all the other readings. I just laid down this shawl that I found at a thrift store and I just love it. I think it's so beautiful. But I can already tell it's going to bug me. Might have to move back to its original location. Alright, so anyways, why we do these is, sometimes we have past life karma that wasn't paid off that maybe in this lifetime we're paying off. It helps to know that, right? It helps to know that. As it speaks to love, sometimes love was interrupted in a past life and you're picking it back up in this life. Doesn't mean anything's easy, but it allows you to understand a little more. Some have like abandonment issues. What it does is it really dwells into why certain issues may be affecting us today, and therefore allowing us to clear it clear it once and for all. So we're going to start with the past life tarot oracle. I guess it'd be oracle. Again, all signs. This is about using your intuition. I feel like all my readings are like I want you to learn how to trust your own gut more and more. See how it's moving around? That'll drive me crazy. We have food and hunger. We have the high priest or priestess. That makes sense. I feel like many of you are that in this lifetime also. Take a couple more and then we'll bring in the tarot to connect. I feel like some of you, look at this knighthood, and maybe why this knighthood is here. I know there's many different reasons, but I feel like some of you, excuse me, there is, what do I want to say, like a character within you. It's who you are, and I feel like in this past life, you were very important, kind of like, I want to say shaman, but shaman I think deals more with medicine. I feel like this is more like, how do I say this? I feel like you're like a very spiritual being on this earthly plane, and with very earthly purposes. I feel like one of those purposes is your energy. You have to know how important energy is and learning, that we are energy. So anyways, I feel, because I feel you very, very connected. Very connected. And I also feel there may be a few of you who ended up through your work. And when I say your work, I feel like, you help people in all areas of their life. We have food and hunger, so it could be helping to feed the needy, helping to clothe the homeless. But even more than that, it's almost like bringing Jesus into their life. And I feel like as you're going along this journey, I feel like you meet someone who is on a similar journey, but really more earthly bound. Doesn't mean that they're not spiritual. We all are. It just means that they feel more earthly bound. Where I feel like, like what to do next. It's like fed to you. It's like a stream of where you're needed and how you can help and all of that. You're probably psychic. I think we're all psychic. I think when you add the word medium is when, you're seeing spirit. Um, anyways. So I think I'm going to leave it there with these cards. We have biblical on the bottom of the deck. Maybe that's why I felt like some of you like actually bringing like Jesus, God into, maybe he was even around the time that Jesus walked the earth. Um, almost like one of Jesus's disciples. And I'm not trying to go all religion on you here, um, because this all feels so much more spiritual. You know what I mean? Versus like set rules I'm following. Now I'm really flowing, and I feel like well, let's get back, because I feel like there's someone that you meet that it's almost like what you do and what they do, even though it feels opposite in a way, or let's put it a different way, the way that it's done feels maybe one feels a duty, like I feel a duty to help. I feel duty, and the other one just knows, like, it's just flowing with the energy. I hope I'm making sense. All right, let's bring in the tarot, and let's break this down a little further. I feel like a lot of you are on these spiritual paths, and in this lifetime, you may question it. And maybe because others question it, you then question it, where I just feel like you shouldn't. Like, you don't need to. Oh, those the Lovers. Maybe we're meant to keep that out. I don't know. It's by itself. It just really is. Look how worn and torn the card is. It's been through hell and back. But nonetheless, here's the Lovers. And that would make sense too, because we are in present day moment, present day energy. Bring this down a little bit. We have the King of Pentacles, can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Mercury, for some reason, could also play a hand in this, like the energy of Mercury. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, as is Virgo. We have the Chariot, card of Cancer. It's funny, neighbors side by side, and what comes between them is this King. We have knighthood up here. It's almost like it's showing us like this person, because let me try to explain it another way. Just excuse the way that I read. It's just the way it comes to me. So I feel like on one side, again, I'm the one who is just spiritually following what I feel inside, right? It's just like I naturally, those who need help, a hand up, whatever it is, it's just like I'm naturally guided to them. They to I. Where the other person, I feel, it's more, and I know I already said this, but it's like more of a duty, right? It feels like more of a duty. And it feels like opposites, yet both these people, the High Priestess and the King of Cups, just figured it wanted to be seen, So, like, both these people have an ultimate goal, the ultimate goal. The King of Pentacles coming between it. The King of Pentacles talks about looking at life through the big picture, right? Seeing things through the big picture, not over analyzing, that type of thing. Sometimes things are simply what they are, type of energy. The King of Pentacles feels abundant, definitely feels abundant. And I almost feel like this king is the one who sent this knight into, like, I feel like into the fields. I want to say, like, into the fields. It's funny because now I'm feeling, and maybe this is even talking about in this lifetime, excuse me, it's funny because I feel like as the knight, I'm out doing my duty. And as I'm doing my duty, I run across you, and you immediately catch my eye. You immediately spark something within me. It's like immediate. I don't know if you know that, if you have even noticed them. Because it's kind of interesting because I'm not quite feeling that with you at this moment, but with them, it's like, they're out in the field doing what it is they have to do. And maybe, listen, I'm doing my duty and I have so much time to do it, and I have to, and I have to follow A, B, like the King of Pentacles, A, B, C, D. Where your energy is much more fluid. So anyways, like, why would this person not stop and speak to you? I think because they couldn't. That's how maybe loyal this person is to the king, let's say, right? That, I get my duty done, and, and then I need to come back to the king. Now, fast forward, and now what I feel like is this knight is now the king. Does that make sense? So maybe this is the prince. I don't know. But I feel like now, still in the past lifetime, I feel like this, so that means time has gone by, right? Time has gone by. And it's funny because I feel like this king could never get you off their mind. And it's so interesting that they didn't take that moment to, like, introduce themselves. You know what I mean? Like, who, at the time, let's say it was the prince, who would not want to be, introduced to the prince? But I'm over here doing my thing, right? I'm not even paying attention. Like, these earthly things don't matter to me so much. It's more about helping the people. So years go by, and I feel like now I am the king, and I have never forgotten about you. So now what I want to do is I want to find you. And I feel like that's what this king now is doing. The king is now searching the village for you. It almost feels like all of a sudden like Cinderella. Like, how will this, let's say 20 years have passed, right? I've gone from the knight, or I've gone from the prince to the king. It could be the princess to the queen, however it fits for you. What was I going to say, though? How would they recognize you? Well, it'll be the energy, and it feels, and I'm thinking Cinderella because Cinderella had to try on the shoe, the glass slipper, right? So anyways, I feel like this king is now looking for you. I don't feel like this king has taken another woman. I feel like this king has, and it may be because of you, because of all those years ago, this king has kept his, her focus strictly on the building of the kingdom, right? And I definitely feel building it the right way. I don't feel like he reigns over the people, but in the same breath, I feel like the people love him. We have the Empress. Dun 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 dun. Interesting, right? Because the Empress, you know, this would also speed up time, right? Because I feel like this is you in the younger years, again, still past life, you in the younger years. And I feel like now the Empress would be the perfect person to show up from how you have grown. You know, the Empress has not lived a simple life, right? But she chose that. She chose that. You know, I feel like the Empress, almost like I knew, you know, like if I've never been hungry, then, you know, that's how I built my compassion. I've been there, right? I've walked those shoes, and therefore I've grown empathy and compassion. The Empress is very wise, perfect partner for this king, to be honest. And it does look like she's taking a throne. Um, you know, and she's the perfect person to come out with the high priestess because the Empress is always creating. She's very creative. That's where she's alive, thrives, that type of thing, through her creativity. And much of this is fed. It doesn't mean it's not your own. Often I feel like it's from your higher self. It's like, you know, um, hmm. Now, has this king found you? I feel like this king does want to find you, and this king does want you on the throne. Okay, look at this. We have the princess. Excuse me. We have the Seven of Wands. You know, the defender of man. I looked up my name once, and that's what my name, um, Sandra or Sandy, maybe both, means defender of man. And I thought, well, that's kind of ironic, because that's what I'm trying to do here. Look at this, the Ace of Pentacles. You know, first of all, the king's holding the ace, holding it out clearly for us to see. Um, this king is on a mission, and this king wants to bring this ace as an offering to you, the potential Empress here. It's interesting because I feel like this is the younger energy, right? This is what he remembers. Like, he doesn't know you as the Empress, but I feel like the Lovers is very, very important here because, you know, it's funny because I was going to do a twin flame reading, but instead I felt guided to do one of these. So, you know, these could be twin flames, no doubt. Could be. Soulmates, nonetheless. You know, I don't know why. I don't feel like there's anywhere where, like, you're creating terrible karma or anything like that. Really, quite the opposite. Look at that. Come on, guys. I mean, this is the third reading, almost in a row that this has happened. There's something major going on this year. You know, we're in the year of the Lovers. Believe it. We're in the universally. Doesn't matter where you're at. You know, you guys are all over the world, and I know that, and I love that. Right? You know, if nothing else, what does that prove? It proves that we're, you know, we all want the same things, right? Doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Like the questions I get for personal readings, many times are the same, just different situations. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So understand how connected we really all are. Like when someone gets a personal reading, there's things in that reading is like, I know I was meant to do that reading for them. You know what I mean? It's like that is how connected we are. Okay, anyway, the Emperor and the Empress. Look at that side by side. Actually, the Empress is right above the Emperor. Wow. We have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and I feel like this is the King. Maybe the King is now the Emperor. Maybe this is just the growth. That maybe this is, the growth that happens within this lifespan. What a life. This is the energy of victory, first of all, but this is the energy where other people really look up to what's being said, like who's ever speaking, and I feel like it's the king or the emperor making an announcement, of the empress taking her part, sitting by him. Come on. It's like we see the growth within both of them. I think, this could speak about in this lifetime. Maybe it's like, when do I get to have great love and all that? Well, what you want to think about their energy. Here is the high priestess, or later down the road become, is the empress. Um, she is very loving and very nurturing and very caring, strong and can be counted on, but knows, who to give her time to and who not to give her time to. She is someone who trusts completely in the flow of energy and her intuition. Um, you know what I mean? Like, and the king, very much like this King of Pentacles, they're kind of different, but when they're together, it's like, wow. And I'm saying that because I feel like, again, like the emperor rules like in an earthly plane, right? Earthly energy. That's just what I feel. The empress brings spirituality to the table, opens up the avenues of spirituality and all that. So, do I think that there is, first of all, here is the Chariot bringing in this Ace of Pentacles on the back of the Emperor with the Empress, and he's like holding the world, almost like, I need you in my world. And maybe when I say my world, I mean eternally. And remember, a lot of times, like, you can have great love and it may come later in life. And it may be, a lot of times there's purpose behind that, and it's because each is growing to be who they will be, right? And it's through these experiences, right? Their experiences, your experiences. And then when you come together, it's like, I don't know, I feel like more of a powerhouse. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring in the Gilded Tarot, and we're going to go ahead and clarify. I really don't feel like I need to. Already pre-shuffled. This knight, this king, this emperor, I feel like there are battles that they needed to fight. And you know, and maybe that's how they have had their growth. I mean, look at the growth, you know, and it's showing growth on both sides. We have justice. You know, justice, first of all, card of Libra. It's about balance. It can be about karma. Maybe it was a life before that last life. You know what I mean? And boy, I just feel like you were so good in your last life that, you know, maybe you're meant to have more enjoyment in this lifetime than you're allowing yourself, right? Maybe I want what I want now. But it's, you know, it's like, I feel like this emperor, I mean, it feels like 20 years. It feels like 20 years before he went and found this empress. Why didn't the empress go and look for him? Because the empress had no clue that, or let's say the princess, you know, had no clue. I just feel like, for, you know, again, the knight just felt what he felt. But that was it. You know, didn't introduce himself. So, anyway. So, you know, justice is fairness. And I like, you know, that that's also coming over food and hunger, because to me it talks about, you know, helping those out again. Justice is about making you whole again. Making someone whole again. Some of you could find yourselves like in careers of the law, in like careers of like some type of social work, light working. Sometimes I think these careers come like what feels like accidentally. But then we find that, you know, there is a satisfaction within them. We have the Chariot coming over the High Priestess. Double Cancer, double Chariots. Interesting, because it's almost like putting both of these lovers into movement now. Eight of Wands, fast-moving energy. I feel like okay. So, listen. Again, I felt the connection 20 years ago, but 20 years has gone by. Nothing is fast about that. But now that, you know, I have fought my battles, now that I'm in the position that I am in, I'm ready. You know, it's not that, I feel like it's not that the king didn't want you there before. But listen, maybe there was just a lot, almost like I'd rather keep you out of maybe some of the dangers that he faced. So anyway, it's interesting, because I feel like what this is doing, it's like divine putting each on each other's path. You know, like how would how will the emperor find you? Divine's going to make sure. That's how. And, you know, the Eight of Wands, what I think about, I bring about. What I think about, I bring about. So, you know, it's like this emperor is using a little bit of his own intention, like his own magic. You know, intention is magic. Intention is creation. We have the moon coming over the lovers. A lot of Cancer on the board, first of all, because the moon is the ruler of Cancer. But that is Pisces card. But there's a lot of Cancer. You know, how interesting, because on the 17th is the Cancer full moon. Sometimes I'm like, I'm wondered, like, why did I feel guided doing a reading? I always get the answer. And I feel like it may speak about that. We're in the year of the lovers. Maybe it's been a long time coming. We have the page, interesting, the page of swords. And then we have the page of swords and with the princess of swords. Very clear, right? It's very clear. Younger energy, current energy. The growth factor of each one of them. It may say to you, where's your energy? Because when does it come together? And again, it's almost like unbeknownst to this Empress. Though maybe she's starting to feel, right, the energy of wanting to have a partner. I feel like as Empress, though, the Emperor is sending out this energy to her. And again, he knows who he wants. There's no guessing. He knows who he wants. I don't even know what she looks like now. That's not the point. The point is she had my heart from the moment I saw her. So the moon coming over the lovers would kind of make sense, right? Because, I'm traveling, I don't know exactly where I'm going. Look at this. 10 of Cups. King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I often don't read people cards as people. I read them as the energy. And the King of Swords and the Upright to me is about honesty and trust and communication. I feel like in this lifetime, this Empress swept you off your feet so quick, so fast. But you knew, you felt it immediately yourself. And I feel like this relationship, it's like I find you, and as soon as I find you, I bring you back to my kingdom and I make the announcement. The Emperor and the Empress are together through the energy of the lovers. In the 10 of Cups, I mean, what more could you want, right? 10 of Cups talks about joy and laughter. It's not a house of all seriousness and don't bug daddy type thing. No, there's joy, there's laughter, there's appreciation. Of course there is, because this king has waited a long time. A long time. And boy, do I feel the fulfillment of these two people. Like, I feel so fulfilled. Even though I was fulfilled in my life already. This is something different. This is something magical. And, they weren't waiting for each other. They were each living their lives and living fulfilling lives. I don't know if you had much money when you were younger. I don't think that was the purpose. That's not what you thought about. Where on the opposite end, it was what was going on in the Knight, in the King, in the Emperor's energy. It was building a very strong foundation for him, for his people, for you. Queen of Cups. Look at this. It's like the princess has grown up to the queen. Queen of Cups is beautiful energy. This is someone who is very open to love, partnership, family, all that. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Hermit card of Virgo. And then look at this. We have the Two of Wands coming over the Emperor. You know, it's almost like this Emperor finds this, which is probably a queen, right? She's a queen. And I mean that as in age. She's no longer a princess, she's now a queen. She's about to be an empress. That is yet to come. This path of helping others is so true to you, I feel like. Defending others, homeless, those that have lost homes, that type of thing. If you're someone who's gone through that, know that you can get through this. You will get through this struggle. And that may be what it's all about. How I pick myself up. Because in the Five of Pentacles, it's moving you towards it's moving to a 6, number 1, this year. But it's also moving you to a time period where there's a lot of soulmates. So as I go through a certain strife, like the right person comes to me, maybe it's just for a second, at the right time. The right song comes on. I hear the right reading. Something. So it's about not giving up. And sometimes it's about when our hands are forced. Now, this could be others. You know, the Hermit is the wise one. And the Hermit is holds the beacon of light, because the Hermit has gone through the dark night of the soul. The Hermit has asked those questions. The Hermit is looking, the Hermit was seeking spiritual answers on this earthly plane. I often feel the Hermit becomes the master teacher, some way, somehow. And then here's this Ace of Pentacles, feeding the Hermit's energy. This feels powerful. You know, I'm just thinking of like this Hermit energy within the Ten of Cups, and how grounded does that feel? How wise does that feel? I think this just answers a question for us, why we don't get things right when we want them. And also it's saying that nobody is waiting for anyone. Everyone is doing what they need to be doing, right? Doing what they feel is right to them. And then I almost feel like trusting in divine in the rest. I feel like love comes when love comes. Like, you fall in love when you fall in love. I don't think there's a rhyme or reason. I didn't expect anybody that I fell in love with, right? I didn't expect it. In 1 second changes your world. So, the Empress and the Emperor are back together again. Where I know that they're definitely at is the last twin flame I did, and that's what I titled it. I put the Empress and Emperor side by side, I believe. And then there was one sign or two signs after that. Leo was one of them. And there was another one. So anyway, maybe it was Virgo. I'm looking at the Hermit all of a sudden. The Two of Wands is the opening up of the next path, a new path. It's where the Empress is taking her throne. How interesting, right? Where I start and where I ended. So who knows? Maybe in this lifetime, if you're looking for that, like really like special one, maybe you just got to trust that it'll come to you. Maybe you've already met them, and maybe you don't know it. Maybe there's someone out there who, you are on their mind. I have a feeling some of you, some names just popped in your head, and I feel like they were meant to. So I'm going to leave this here, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. These don't get a lot of views, and it makes me sometimes like, maybe I shouldn't do them because I think maybe people don't like them. But I love them. Like, I love them. I love doing them because I think it's important to see where we may have been. I know it may not be for everyone, but there's other ones that are in a playlist that it may call to you. And that's how you know it calls to you, right? Like you feel it, like, don't second guess it. But if you feel it, don't worry about the date. You know what I mean? Like the date, YouTube, we have to put a date. Don't worry about a date. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. I pray that what you truly want, what your soul wants, finds you and you find it. If this is your story, I want you to think about the Emperor and the Empress, the lovers, and the time, right? But this may be talking about now is the year of the lovers. So it may be talking about something that's happening this year. And again, maybe you don't know it. Maybe it's unexpected. Are you ready for it? Because what if it is you? Are you ready for it? What if it is this Emperor? Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for your beautiful support of my channel in all the ways you do it. Thank you for sharing the videos, helping me grow, helping it reach, who it needs to reach. And thank you for trusting your own intuition. I know a lot of you, because this is that type of reading where, someone may just be going like, what? A past life? And skip right by it. But it's like, something pulled you to it. And I appreciate and love that you paid attention to it. Because I think that's what this is all about. It's us really trusting each other and feeling each other's energy. All of that. So, anyways, I love you. I will see you next time at my table. Bye-bye.